Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video we're going to break down the best tips and tricks for Disney Cruise Line. And this is probably going to be the first of many, as I personally am absolutely obsessed with Disney cruises. I think they are unlike anything I've ever experienced from a vacation standpoint, and I am so very excited to create this video. So if you are in the process of planning a Disney Cruise Line vacation and you want to be as prepared as possible, just be sure to stick around until the end of this video. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we are about to break down some of the best tips and tricks for Disney Cruise Line. A lot of these are going to be, our beginner families. Maybe this is your first Disney cruise or your first Disney cruise on the brand new Disney Wish, or you're planning for Disney Treasure, which opens up at the end of 2024, or I should say set sails at the end of 2024. But here at the Park Prodigy, we help a ton of families plan Disney World, Disneyland, and Disney cruise vacations. And these are some of the basics that we see be the most helpful as you're getting ready. So let's jump right in. Let's start with before you get on the ship. One of the most important things you want to make sure to do is always download the Navigator app before you get onto your Disney cruise vacation. Now, this is going to be important for a couple reasons. The first is before you even get onto your ship, you can do this on the Navigator app, or you could just go directly to Disney Cruise Line, but you want to take a look and you want to see if you want to book any of the offshore excursions, right? A lot of these will book up very quickly, so you want to be prepared. You want to do your research. You want to know which ones you have your heart set on, and we will talk about excursions in a little bit. The other important thing too is once you step onto your Disney Cruise Line ship, you'll pretty much unlock all of the daily schedules. So you'll be able to see the show times, the deck parties, what time your favorite trivia is, all the fun stuff that they have going on for the kids. And at that point, you can also start to heart everything that you want to take advantage of. And so it kind of goes into a special section for you, so you could wake up, let's say on day 3, and you see, hey, here are all the activities I would love to do today, and you can kind of plan your day around that. Also, when you're out at sea, you don't have Wi-Fi, so the Navigator app will allow you to kind of register, and you can kind of communicate and text each other through the app while you're on your cruise. Taking it one step further, the next tip and trick would be always make sure you enable notifications, so you'll actually receive a reminder about 15 minutes before your activity is set to begin. Another really important tip and trick, once you get onto your cruise ship, especially if you want to register your kids for the club areas, register your kids right away for those specific club areas, and it will just make your vacation go that much smoother. Now, kids who register for the Oceaneer Club will get a kind of a wristband, and you'll have a $12.95 deposit at the time of the recording of this video. Make sure you return the bands and you will get your money back. Okay, now speaking of money though, when it comes to tipping, right, another thing you can do before you get onto your cruise ship is you can actually pay for gratuities before you even set sail, which I think is just one less thing you have to worry about, something you can plan into your budget. So be sure to take advantage of that. If you're using a travel agency like the Park Prodigy, we'll be sure to remind you, and you can kind of coordinate through us and we'll help you out. The other thing I would say too, and again, this is just me, I grew up in New York. When we have good service, we like to tip. So I would say if that's your style, just be sure to bring some small bills, like $5 bill, $10 bills, because the service on the Disney Cruise Line is like nothing I've ever received before. And a lot of times when they do go above and beyond, for me personally, I like to thank them with a, maybe like a tip. That's just the way I am. Be prepared for that though. Be mindful. A lot of the food and drinks are included, right? You don't think about it because you're not really paying for the food, but you want to be prepared, have some small bills on you. Okay, over to the other important thing is for the spa, and then alcohol drink gratuity is automatically charged. So an 18% gratuity is automatically added to the spa and services and drinks. So be mindful of that, budget that into your plan. All right, so now into some of the fun stuff that comes with specifically a Disney cruise vacation. I would say one of the things that might surprise a lot of families is that Disney Cruise Line is actually one of the best places for character meet and greets. So if you have kids and they love going to Disney World or Disneyland and those character interactions, right? But you are used to, let's say, 50 or 60-minute waits for some of the most popular ones within the theme parks, you go out to sea, because there are character meet and greets everywhere. It's actually overwhelming, and families have so much fun with it. The other cool thing too, again tying into the Navigator app, but you will see a list of character appearances, times, and locations. Once the schedule is unlocked, you get to see where all the characters will be and when, and you can kind of plan and make sure your kids do get to see their favorite character. One of the other cool things I really enjoyed on my Disney Cruise Line vacation is using your Magic Band Plus. So I felt like this was so much more convenient than having my room key out every time. If you're not familiar with it, Disney does have kind of a Magic Band Plus. It works in Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and now on Disney Cruise Line. And again, you could use this to pretty much open up your door to get on and off the ship for extra charges throughout the vacation. If you buy a couple of drinks, you just pretty much scan your Magic Band. You don't have to worry about your room card, which is the other way that you would do all of those things. If not, I would just be sure to bring lanyards so you easily have your room card out and you can kind of scan as you go. And then over to the next tip and trick. This really has to do, again, kind of jumping back into offshore excursions, right? But be mindful of your windows. So Disney, the way it works is it is kind of like a tiered system, just like a lot of cruise lines, right? Where the more you sail, kind of the higher status you have and the earlier booking windows you have to a lot of the excursions. The excursions do sell out quickly. The cabanas on the Disney private islands by far will sell out the fastest. So you really want to be mindful. But some of the other really popular things are going to be the princess gatherings. So this will actually open up 30 days from your sailing date. And this is a special meet and greet where your kids can go and meet the Disney princesses. Disney also has bippity boppity boutiques on the Disney cruise lines, so you can take advantage of that. But just most importantly, be mindful, do your research, know exactly which excursions you want to do when your booking window does open up. So the other cool thing about Disney Cruise Line is the dining. And of course, the standard dining is amazing on Disney Cruise Line. So the way that their dining works, it's pretty much a rotational dining. So what that means is you're not stuck in one dining room the entire cruise. You're pretty much going to rotate. And I really love this because it kind of changed the entire dynamic. Like every night you're getting something different. Now, the other cool thing too is that Disney ships also have adult-only restaurants available at an extra charge. So depending on the ship, this would typically be Remy, which is French focused, or the fan favorite Palo. I love Palos. Pretty much prefix menu if you want, but you can also just order like a la carte. We typically order a la carte, and I'm used to going out, in New York City, and I would say this same meal that I'll have at Palo in New York City would cost me well over $400, and maybe it's $90. I mean, you really can't beat the price for the meal that you get at Palo. The really cool thing too is when I tell folks me and my girlfriend, we love going on Disney cruises. They're like, what is there for you guys to do? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, there is so much for adults to enjoy on your Disney cruise ship. It doesn't matter if you're going just on an adults only vacation or just for you all as adults to enjoy with your family, right? Of course, the kids are going to have an amazing time, but there are plenty of, adult themed bars that you can take advantage of. So specifically, some of the most popular ones are going to be on the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy. There's the Meridian Bar, which is up top, right next door to Paolo and Remy. You really have some amazing views. My personal favorite, though, is on the Disney Wish, and it's also going to be on the Disney Treasure, and that is going to be the Rose. It's just a very upscale cocktail bar, but what I love most about this is the views that you get from this bar. Perfect, before dinner kind of spot to go grab a drink. But the other cool thing too about the newest Disney cruise ships is over on the Disney Wish, we do have the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge, which is a bar exclusively found on the Wish at this point in time. And it essentially is, just like it sounds, it is a Star Wars themed bar. So you'll also be able to enjoy delicious non-alcoholic beverages. They're simply out of this world. And during the day, guests of all ages are allowed in. On the Disney Treasure, which is setting sail at the end of 2024, we also will have a Haunted Mansion themed bar. It's called the Haunted Mansion Parlor. That is going to be absolutely bananas. Okay, but jumping back to seating and dining very quickly. So one of the things you can do, if you prefer to kind of sit by yourself, you can request a lot of special things through the Navigator app. One of the things that we will do is we'll request to be seated by ourselves, just because especially depending on the group that we're with, you might be a family of 4 and you might want to just sit by yourself. You can request that before you get on the ship. And then kind of jumping back into dining and a couple of beverages, stuff like that. Be sure to ask about the sommelier bin for discounted wine. So once a bottle opens up, Disney must serve it in its entirety that day. So because of this, Disney will sometimes have a sommelier bin with open bottles of wine served by the glass at a highly discounted rate. Guests can also save a couple bucks by bringing their own drinks on board. So hard liquor is a no-go, but each cruiser, 21 years of age and up, can bring 2 bottles of wine or a 6-pack of beer on board with them. There is going to be a corking fee. It's just something to keep in mind that is specific to cruises. Sticking with dining, there are 2 different seating options, so be sure to book as early as possible. Book your cruise as early as possible, especially if you're visiting with young kids. The first dining option is going to be 5:45, and the second dining option is going to be 8:15. So again, for a lot of families, I know that 5:45 is the most important. And if you don't get that right away, you can join the wait list. If anyone drops off, you can get bumped up to the earlier seating. For the late seating, one of the things that I thought was interesting is you will pretty much be able to go and take advantage of all the amazing Disney Cruise Line shows before you're dining. So maybe you prefer that. Maybe you prefer a show and then dinner. That would kind of work better for you, but just be mindful of that. I kind of now jumping into dessert. If you are a frequent Disney cruiser or just a cruiser in general, you're probably familiar that Disney cruises do come with unlimited soft serve ice cream. So the kids will love it, adults will love it, and you might think, oh wait, well, we're going off to the private island, we might not be able to enjoy it. Well, no, Disney's Private Island, Castaway Cay, and now Lighthouse Point both do offer unlimited soft serve ice cream as well, so definitely be sure to take advantage of that. But another one of the hidden tips, tricks, secrets is that you can order the Mickey ice cream bars with room service. Okay, over to the next one. We're going to jump into the nursery. So booking windows will open very, very early, and guests should take advantage of the early window for the onboard nursery. So it is available for an extra charge. They're called the It's a Small World Nursery, and they will supervise your child ages 6 months to 3 years old. And it's ideal for those parents who just might want to go take advantage of, a night at Paolo, or just have a quieter evening for some drinks, dinner, while someone is watching over the little ones. And then, of course, don't forget that the other youth clubs for kids, tweens, and teens are absolutely free as well. So teens can hang out in the coolest part of the ship, and that is, of course, going to be the Vibe, which on board they have youth activities, which is exclusively available for teens ages 14 to 17. Like we said, there's also the tweens that can take advantage of all the fun, but there's really so much for kids to do and enjoy on their Disney cruise ship. Another really, really cool thing that we love about Disney Cruise Line is each of the Disney ships does have a movie theater, essentially, where you can enjoy the latest Disney releases at the onboard movie theater without having to buy tickets in advance. So we were actually lucky enough to see some of the latest movies on our Disney cruise ship. The other thing that we love is you could take advantage of the Disney popcorn bucket on your cruise ship. So we brought our popcorn bucket from home. You get to enjoy like $2.50 refills, and you kind of enjoy your movie. You have your popcorn. One of the other things we've done too is on the Halloween on the High Seas, we've been able to take advantage of different holiday movies such as Hocus Pocus. In a couple weeks, we're actually going on a Very Merry Time cruise. So we're going to be sure keep you guys posted on what that looks like. But I guess that ties into my next tip and trick is if you love the holidays, Disney has specifically holiday themed cruises that you can take advantage of. So they do have Halloween on the High Seas, and they have the Disney Very Merry Time cruises, which are themed, and the entire ship is decorated for those specific times of year. Another really fun thing to do if you specifically just want to enjoy the ship is you can skip the ports to enjoy fewer crowds at the pool. And this is, again, something we do constantly. A lot of the trips that we take now, specifically the Disney cruises out of Port Canaveral, are typically 3 or 4 days. So that one day maybe in Nassau, the Bahamas, we typically skip. We love the Disney cruise ships just for all the activities going on. And so we'll kind of just hang out. We'll hang by the pool. Maybe we'll go grab a coffee. Maybe I'll talk about a coffee tip and trick in a few minutes. But we'll just enjoy everything the ship has to offer with fewer crowds. Now, when it comes to the port of call, what I would say too is if you're like an old school Disney cruiser and you've been to Castaway Cay, but you haven't been to the new island, which is Lighthouse Point, they are 2 very, very different island experiences. And we actually do have a full-blown video coming out comparing the 2, Castaway Cay to the Lighthouse Point. So if you are in the process of planning a Disney Cruise Line and you're not sure which one, just be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as I do have a lot more Disney Cruise Line content coming out in the coming weeks. And we're actually running promotions over at the Park Prodigy. If you do need help booking that next Disney cruise, we're actually giving back up to $1,200 in a Disney gift card for families who do book their Disney cruise with us and allow us to help take all the stress out of planning that amazing vacation. But back over to the cruise ships, don't miss the musicals. So while it may be tempting to take advantage of quieter times on the ship, or maybe you're not that into the Broadway type shows, or you don't think they're going to be that good. No, they are that good. And they're, again, if you're a Disney fan, you're absolutely going to love them. So they have Broadway quality productions, including Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Frozen. They are different for each of the Disney cruise ships, right? So you really don't know which show you're going to get, but be sure to take advantage of it. And the other cool thing too is throughout your entire Disney Cruise Line vacation, there will be tons of photo opportunities, but don't forget to go stop by and make sure that you do purchase whichever photos you do want to take off the ship and be able to download once you get home. All right, so one of the other things that I really personally enjoy about the Disney Cruise Line is that they do have special coffee lounges that you can go and take advantage of. The coffee's included, regular coffee's included for free, right? But they do have specialty coffee that we really enjoy. And they're, a lot of the hot coffees, like if you get a cappuccino or something like that, they'll have like a Disney character print on it. So you can request which Disney character you would like. They will absolutely do their best to kind of make your dreams come true in that sense. All right, over to now inside of the room. Be sure to bring an extra key card so that the way that the light switches and the AC works within the room is that it will turn off if you don't have a key card in it. So you can bring an extra one to make sure you keep the AC on or whatever it might be. And then some of the other really important ones are going to be bring magnetic hooks, because you'll see, obviously storage is going to be limited within a Disney cruise cabin. And then a lot of the other things I've seen too is collapsible, hampers for dirty clothes, travel buckets, also collapsible sand buckets and shovels for, those days out on the beaches. Okay, getting towards the end, but another thing we do have to talk about is Pirate Night. Now, one of the other things I love about Disney Cruise Line is they do have a specifically themed Pirate Night where guests can dress up in pirate costumes and they'll have special dinners. One of the best tips and tricks, and I have to give a huge shout out to my girlfriend, she was the one that explained this to me. It's typically difficult to know when Pirate Night will be on your trip, right? So you kind of have a difficult time planning. But what you can do is look within the Navigator app, and the night that they have, essentially the capabilities in Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which is the place where the kids can get dressed up, they'll have the option for boys to get dressed up as pirates. That is going to be your Pirate Night. I would say that's probably going to be the best tip and trick out of the entire video. Another really cool thing about Disney Cruise Line is it does not take commission for exchanging bills. So they will honor exchange rates for any leftover money as well. And last but not least, one of the things that we personally love to do is if you love just kind of getting off the ship and let's say maybe you're going to Walt Disney World or you're going to take advantage of transportation back home, you can disembark the ship first thing in the morning as soon as they kind of give you the green light. So if you carry your own bags off of the ship, you will be able to pretty much leave as soon as the boat kind of gets the clear, from the Coast Guard that guests can leave the ship. It's something we do constantly. And I will say this now too. I've said this a couple times in this video. I'm originally from New York. I do live now full-time in Orlando because I do own the Park Prodigy. So again, it just makes the most sense. We're helping so many families to be in the area that we are planning all the vacations to. I've never experienced anything like this from just a vacation standpoint. If you're coming to Walt Disney World, and I live right up the block from Walt Disney World, you literally can get off of your cruise ship in Port Canaveral and be sitting in your Disney World hotel, I would say, within an hour and a half. I have left our Disney cruise ship. We have left the ship at 7:30 on a Monday morning, and I have been logged on working by 9 o'clock. It is that close. It is that easy to disembark if you carry your own bags off and kind of go and start the next part of your vacation or go get your flight home, right? Whatever it might be. So that is the list, everyone. I really hope that you found this video helpful. And like I said, if you are in the process of planning that Disney cruise vacation and you do need a little additional help, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. Don't forget that you can take advantage of up to $1,200 back in a Disney gift card right now. If you do want to fill out a questionnaire and kind of have my team provide a custom Disney Cruise Line quote, it will be left in the show notes. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.